The year is sometime in the late 1970s. Japan, land of the rising sun and the land of the sideways car. Forget your sensible Corollas trundling to the shops. We're talking about mountains. Dark, treacherous, winding ribbons of tarmac clinging to the sides of colossal peaks. These weren't roads for the faint of heart. They were challenges. Invitations to dance with disaster. And some rather unhinged individuals decided this was the perfect place to invent a new way of driving. They called these mountain passes touge. These early pioneers weren't initially trying to go fast in a straight line. They were chasing something else, a feeling, an art form, if you can call scaring yourself witless an art form. It was about controlling the uncontrollable and taking a car, a perfectly good machine designed to go forwards, and convincing it to go sideways, around corners designed by someone who clearly hated tires. It was about style, precision, and an almost balletic control over a screaming hunk of metal. The touge became their proving ground, their canvas. The seeds of drifting were sown not on a pristine racetrack, but on the cold, unforgiving asphalt of Japan's sleeping mountains. This obsession with sideways motoring couldn't be contained by the mountains forever. It began to seep down into the cities, into the sprawling urban jungles of Japan. Here, it merged with an already vibrant underground car culture. Think Bosozoku biker gangs, but with four wheels and an even greater disregard for noise regulations. This wasn't just about driving anymore. It was a statement. A rebellion against conformity, a middle finger to the mundane. Illegal street racing was part of this potent cocktail. The infamous Wangan midnight runs on the Bayshore route were legendary for high-speed blasts. But the touge spirit brought a different flavor to the urban sprawl. It wasn't just about who had the most horsepower. It was about who had the biggest skills. Bragging rights were everything. It was a nocturnal ballet of horsepower and rebellion, played out on the public stage, whether the public liked it or not. You can't talk about drifting without mentioning the godfathers, the originals, the men who took this wild mountain pastime and started to codify it. First, there's Kunimitsu Takahashi. Takahashi-san was a bona fide racing legend, a motorcycle Grand Prix winner who then switched to four wheels. Back in the 70s, in his monstrous Nissan Skyline GT-R race car, he wasn't just fast, he was spectacular. He'd deliberately get the tail out, smoking the tires through corners, not necessarily because it was the quickest way, but because it looked utterly fantastic. The crowds went wild. He was perhaps the accidental father of drifting style. Then came the man, the myth, the legend, Kiichi Tsuchiya, the Drift King, or Dorikin as they call him in Japan. Tsuchiya wasn't born into racing royalty. He started as a street racer, honing his skills on those very same treacherous touge passes. He took Takahashi's flamboyant style and refined it, weaponized it. He made going sideways look like the most natural thing in the world for a car to do. From asphalt outlaws to arena gods, the birth of pro drifting. Now, as thrilling as it is to dodge trees and police cars on a mountain pass at 3 a.m., it's not exactly a sustainable business model or particularly safe. The raw talent and incredible spectacle of drifting were undeniable, but its illegal street origins were a bit of a PR nightmare. How do you take this exhilarating, rebellious art form and bring it into the light without sanitizing it, without losing its soul? That was the million-yen question. Early organized events started to pop up. These weren't the slick, corporate affairs we see today. They were often held in car parks, on disused airfields, or on small local circuits. The crowds were small but passionate. The cars were often battle-scarred veterans of the street scene. But it was a start. It was a way for these incredibly skilled drivers to showcase their talents without the constant fear of arrest or a fiery demise. Then in 2000 came the game changer, the D1 Grand Prix. Suddenly, this underground phenomenon was a professional motorsport. The D1 GP took the best elements of street drifting and packaged it into an electrifying competition format. The world catches fire, drifting goes global. Japan couldn't keep this glorious secret to itself forever. Thanks to the internet and grainy VHS tapes, the world saw the magic of drifting, and the world was very, very interested. Suddenly everyone wanted a piece of this sideways action. It was an epidemic of oversteer. From California to Europe, young enthusiasts were captivated. They saw the incredible car control and wanted in. Garages became laboratories for budget drift missiles. Old rear-wheel drive cars were given new life. The spirit of the Touge was reborn globally. Japanese street drifting's impact on global car culture is monumental. It changed how a generation looked at cars and driving. It's about passion, skill, and a joyous disregard for convention.